Believe it or not, this PC is on, it's just got no RGB. There's no lighting to see. Believe it or not, it's still on. That was amazing. That was so good. Purposely out of key to wake you up so you can see the PC that you can't see with no RGB. That's right, we built an RGB free PC because that's what the cool kids do. So let's roll the intro. As usual with these PC builds on the channel, we build them to inspire you guys to build beautiful PCs of your own. The difference here is we went completely as MSI as possible just because like we had these parts sitting here, we weren't gonna use them for anything. I was like, you know what? Let's do some RGB free goodness. And also, because it features a new 12th gen CPU, I got to benchmark it because you guys wanna know. So let's build it, we'll benchmark it, we'll do all that stuff. So let's get building. Alright ladies and gents, hope you enjoyed this RGB free PC with no RGB, with no lighting to see PC build. Yeah. Let's take a look at some thermals and some benchmarks and all that stuff. Let's do that. If you're new to the channel, these are the benchmarks that we use for every single GPU and CPU related video when it comes to 3D and gaming performance. So obviously we saw Shadow of the Tomb Raider, we've got Unigine superposition at 3 different resolutions. Like as I mentioned, we do this the same way for all of these type of videos.
as well as benchmark. Now this benchmark can be slightly deceiving based on its high FPS numbers, but you can use your own system to compare to this system as well. And that's mainly the reason why we use the benchmarks that we use, because the majority of the testing that we do here are free benchmarks that you can use to test your own system to compare against basically anything that we've ever tested on the channel. I think that is a good way of making benchmarking and testing accessible. But let's take a look at those thermals. What we're seeing here is with the front panel pulled off the case, well, because it's got a solid front panel, you can actually run it without it on this MSI case. It does bring the thermals down quite a bit. So, you know, if you want an open fronted case, you can actually do it with this MSI case. But that's all for the testing, just at a bit of a glance. Let's get back to the regular part of the video.
All right, so the performance isn't too shabby. Let's chat about all the parts though, right? Right. The CPU is the Intel Core i7-12700K. We put the 12700K on the MSI MEG Z690 Unify, the one without the RGB. To cool the 12700K, we use the MSI MEG Core Liquid S280. It's a 280ml liquid cooler. It comes with an LGA 1700 bracket, so you can check out our little bit of a video that we did in the up there and in the description talking about LGA 1700 cooler mounting, so check that out at your own leisure. Don't do it now, but it's there for a reference, but this one out of the box does support it. For RAM, this is where this one gets a tad annoying. Well, it happens, right? So initially in the build phase, you saw us use 64 gigs of the new Kingston Fury Beast memory, DDR5 memory at 5200 megahertz, but I pulled 32 gigs out because one of the 16 gig modules decided to cark it. It happens, not overly thrilled about it. Gonna send it back to Kingston because it's dead. We need to RMA that RAM. So yeah, that's just why it's different between the build time, the B-roll, the thumbnail and all that stuff. Yeah, just a dead module. Life goes on. The GPU is the MSI RTX 3070 Ti Gaming X Trio. All the cables are the Beat Phoenix black cable extension that we've been using in a couple builds right now. I like the paracord cables, they're just much easier to work with and they smell good. What a weird thing, I talked about this last time, but they do smell rather nice, I like it. The fans are an odd one. MSI just sent these with the case. They're called the MSI MEG Silent Gale P12. Can we get rid of like the MEG and MPG and MAG thing already, MSI? It just confuses me. I get why you do it, because it's like, it denotes different product ranges, but stop it. It's annoying, it's confusing. I don't like it. But I do like these fans though. One thing I do like about these fans, video's not sponsored by MSI, mind you. Like I said, like we just had a bunch of stuff from them arrive and I was like, you know what? We'll just do a thing. They come with little push pins instead of screws if you want to install them that way, so you don't have to like tap screw threads into the fans if you want to keep it clean and lean. And also they have sound dampening on them as well, so that's kind of cool. Yeah, they reckon that these are as good as Noctua fans. We're not going to test them because they're fans. It's not really what we do here, and it's probably something you guys aren't really that interested in unless it's all blinging and stuff. But, you know, they're quiet. That's pretty good. Quiet is good. I don't like loud PCs. Speaking of quiet, MSI sent over a case, which is called, I'm just gonna read it off the box, it's the MPG Quietude, like attitude. Is that what it is? Is that what we agreed on, Claire?
I think so.
Quietude, like attitude 100S, a gaming case, not like you saying it's a gaming case matters for gaming. I love that, right? It's so funny. But it appears to be a fairly decent case. I don't hate it. It was really easy to build in. So there's my case review. It's not terrible. The thermals are pretty average. I mean, you saw that when we tested the thermals with it. And I did test the thermals because there's some cases that we don't review that we'll just do builds with that you guys like, oh, what were the thermals like? And you know what? There you go. Today I'm being nice. I spent an extra 4 hours testing and doing all that stuff for you guys, so you better appreciate it. If you guys are interested in any of the parts in this build, there's a PCPartPicker list down below in the description so you can peruse that list at your own leisure and see what everything is if I missed anything that I didn't talk about, which is usually the case because I don't always talk about everything. But those lists are there to help you guys and you can figure out how much things cost kind of, but you know how it is at the moment. Everything's mad expensive, so please watch this video. Don't go anywhere. If you like the music you heard here, I make the music. It's available over on our Patreon. Once again, thank you so very much for watching. I'm your buddy Seekers. Claire's looking at me like, why are you weird today? You peek, we seek. Stick around. There's some cinematic things, but it's a little bit different. The reason why I'm saying that is there's no lighting in the PC. So technically I could just turn it off and you could just, you know, watch the computer being off in a really artistic way, which is kind of cool. But we're gonna do something funky, so it is interesting to watch. Why am I rambling today? I'm kind of tired, but I've had caffeine, so stick around. I appreciate you all. You're awesome.